A problem a lot of science programs have is that most lack critical thinking skills. This problem would be easily solved with a good project-based science curriculum, and that's what we just found. Hi, I'm Laura from monkeymom.com with reviews and tips for homeschoolers. Thank you for being here. If you're new, please consider subscribing and turn the notifications on to see when I post new content. This video is part of a full blog post that you can find linked in the description below. Today's sponsor is Evan Moor. You've heard me talk about them before, but I am here to tell you more about a new exciting product called Science Lessons and Investigations. We received a PDF version and printed the book. This series covers grades 1 to 6 and encourages kids to investigate science using questions to spark curiosity and hands-on projects that would stimulate them to use critical thinking strategies. This project-based science curriculum really is jam-packed with ideas for investigative, interesting, and fun science. Science Lessons and Investigations is a collection of unit studies, making this the perfect tool for unit study-loving homeschoolers. Like all other Evan Moor materials, this book is neatly organized, providing teacher help, activity pages, evaluation pages, and an answer key. You will need some supplies for the experiment, so make sure you browse the book before starting your lessons. I will switch the camera over and show you inside. So I printed this book the wrong way and my pages don't line up with the original book, but the book consists of several parts, as you can see. Our level, grade 6, covers 3 major branches of science: life science, earth science, and physical science. Each of these has 4 to 5 subtopics, which are then further split into activities, making this a workbook with 14 engaging units supporting the next generation science standards. The lessons in life science are cells and life, making and processing food, inheriting traits, biodiversity, the history of life. In earth science, we have a tilt for all seasons, dynamic earth, history through geology, water's role on earth, weather and climate. In physical science, we have thermal energy on the move, matter and its interactions, predicting motions from forces, and wave behavior. At the end, we have the answer key. Over the next pages, you get an overview of the whole book. I will show these to you in detail in a moment. We have the teacher pages, unit concept page, explore activity, reading selection, concept vocabulary and vocabulary review, concept comprehension, projects, extend writing prompts, and answer key. Next, we have a how to use page providing tips and information for teachers. Then teachers get a form to ask for materials from parents. And at the bottom of the page, kids get a science card. Tips for science activities to follow the procedures as best you can. Science is about trial and error. Creativity is sometimes needed. And then they have the nature of science. We'll have a look at the full unit so you see how it's set up before I flip through the whole book. This first unit is about life science, cells and life. Kids will learn about cells and living and non-living organisms. Teachers get a page with concepts, objectives, and an overview of the activities. Kids do not need to do all activities. You can choose what you want to do. We just did it all because they are so fun and interesting. The Engage page is the second teacher page. It has the concept introduction idea, spark question, which is a great way to get those wheels turning. Why is a tree a living thing but sand is not? Discussion guide, the stuff of life, and an explore activity preparation for that unit. The Students Engage page is just a collection of photos and captions. This page will be displayed while the teacher works through the question and discussion points. Next, we have the Explore pages. On the first page, we have an investigation. Kids need to observe photos of cells and then answer the questions on the second page. As you see, we needed to draw what we saw under the microscope or in photos, and then answer some questions. I love how these are organized in such a way that kids need to use their critical thinking to answer. For example, question 4 asks, paper towels are made from trees. Trees have cells. Why do you think the paper towel does not? The explain section has an informational text about the concept. It spreads on 3 pages. The first 2 are the text, while on the third we find the vocabulary. I like that these texts use scientific terms that are clearly defined and explained. There's a notes section that we use to add interesting information that my son knew about cells but wasn't in the text. The next 3 pages are used for evaluation. You'll find all sorts of comprehension questions and even graphs or crossword puzzles in some units. These will review the vocabulary and concept comprehension. The last section is the extend section, the section filled with analysis, creative writing, drawing, and project making. I love how Evan Moor chose to cover as many types of learners as possible with these. The activities will appeal to kids that love logical thinking and puzzles, for example. They need to make a comparison between the bicycle systems here and the human systems. The writing activities appeal to language-oriented or creative kids. Sometimes they also need to draw or create something artistic, like a video. Even though my son doesn't like writing, he did this one on his own, and I was impressed with the dedication to it. He had to imagine he could visit inside a plant cell and write facts he learned about certain organelles like nucleus, membrane, wall, mitochondrion. For the project, there are usually 2 options and a place to plan your project. I never realized we didn't discuss planning as a separate step in the process, like planning on paper. This gave us the perfect opportunity to talk about it. Here, kids could choose between a cell model or a poster. My son chose the cell model and it was great fun. So this was a full unit. It's full of activities, interesting information, and engaging questions. I will keep flipping through the book so you can see all the units. The answer key at the back provides answers to only the evaluate pages from each unit. Science lessons and investigations was exactly what we needed to make science during the holidays fun and engaging. I love several things about this program and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Project-based. One of the biggest advantages of this curriculum is that it's project-based. We all heard about project-based, but I found it hard to implement and very time-consuming when I attempted it without support. Evan Moor takes all the guessing and thinking out of it and provides homeschoolers and teachers with a comprehensive resource to just get started on those long postponed science projects. Unit studies. Being organized into units, science lessons and investigations can be easily used as unit studies. You don't need to work through this curriculum in order. You can just keep around as needed, focusing on what you are currently studying in your science curriculum or what the kids are interested in. Critical thinking. The age of rote learning is gone, and science can't be learned by just memorizing facts. Science lessons and investigations sparks questions, prompts kids to find the answers, and provides plenty of support if they get stuck. I love that they need to conduct investigations and analyze their data in order to learn the concepts taught. Engaging. Science lessons and investigations is engaging. The units are so well organized that kids won't get bored, and the prompts chosen are so fun. My son loved writing about the adventures he would have inside a plant cell and even making his project of choice. a model of a plant cell. Collaborative and fun. We are obviously doing this in a homeschool setting. Being an only child, I am his only partner when it comes to collaborating. And I have to admit, I usually cringe when I need to act my peer part because I can't help offering too much help. Science lessons and investigations is different though. We had great fun working through the sales unit together, and I loved listening to him expand on the information provided with his own knowledge. I found the creative prompts awesome. Throughout the book, kids are asked to write interesting creative pieces, to draw comic strips, or even to video record themselves explaining the concepts they learned. New skills. I feel that science lessons and investigations is teaching children a multitude of skills for science and beyond. Inquiry. Questions are important to start on a science journey. Patience. Some experiments happen over several weeks or days. Science takes patience. Perseverance. We don't give up when we hit a wall, just find another angle. Critical thinking. Making connections and finding solutions is a big part of science. Collaboration. Working together with a team to solve a common problem is better than doing it all on your own. Communication. Communicating is very important. Without clear and open communication, the scientific world wouldn't advance. The only downside to this in a homeschool setting is that science lessons and investigations is set up for group use. It can be adapted for homeschool, but we won't be able to do some of the projects as described. We will have to improvise. This project-based science is awesome, and I haven't found another similar one in such an accessible format. So our rating is 4.5 out of 5 stars. I hope this video has been useful. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay curious.